Talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache Talk.
Embark on a breathtaking 12-night journey through Scandinavia with the Worldwide Cache Cruise, starting from the enchanting city of Amsterdam. With the Worldwide Cache Cruise, we are not just taking a vacation. We are geocaching and collecting experiences that will last a lifetime.
A stunning symbol of adventure, community, and storytelling. Its bold design shines with vibrant colors and a cool retro look. It's more than just a coin. It's a badge of geocaching passion. You can be part of the journey by supporting Geocache Talk on Patreon. Your patronage helps create inspiring shows, grow the community, and keep the adventure going. Join the network at patreon.com/geocachetalk.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Calling all geocachers. At artedcrafted.com, we create unique apparel designed by geocachers for geocachers. From custom t-shirts to personalized mugs, our gear lets you express your passion. Stand out at your next event with artedcrafted.com. artedcrafted.com. Gear up for your next geocaching adventure.
All right. Let me do this. Big thanks to our new patrons, Waymaker Jan, Rob S72, Lost and Found 28, returning patron, the Geocaching Ninja, Wee Dog 1, and Angel Bandit. And our featured patrons tonight are Tobin, Andrew, and Yossi, the Mad Finn. Thank you to all our patrons for keeping the show on the air and all our shows on the air. So, yes, I am not at home. I am on the road, but we'll talk about that in the news. So let me bring in the full crew. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Howdy.
Interesting. This will be an interesting show, I think. Actually, we're gonna probably gonna be a two-parter. Don't y'all think? We're not gonna be able to get to everything.
There's a lot. We usually don't. So we'll just see what happens. John just keeps talking the whole time, and we never get to the point. So.
Right.
Well, there's so many great things to say about pickled pizza. I mean, of course, why wouldn't I talk about it? Really?
Oh, wow.
A couple people in the chat room real quick. So Ryan says he's greetings from the road, and he makes a note, not the road as us. So yeah, I'm not with Ryan. They're somewhere else in the world, but
different road. Yeah.
I'll explain where and why and all that, where I'm going later. And there was another quick note I wanted to make. Brian is in the chat room, and I was talking to him earlier because he's working hard on getting our cruise cache list. And I told him, I said, "Hey, Brian, you're now the cruise cache director." And he mentioned Julie. Does anybody know what he was referring to?
No, but I think that thing that you just said, he's probably right on top of everything. Just saying.
Oh,
I got a feeling, guys.
You have to be a little bit older to know the reference, but he's referring to the Love Boat. Julie was the cruise director on the old movie, the old show.
I didn't really watch the Love Boat. My wife would have told you that, but I have not really watched it.
Ooh.
Oh wow, yeah.
So are you saying, Gary, Worldwide Cache Cruise is going to be like a Love Boat style episode? Is this what you're saying?
I mean, I've heard people talk
about it for me.
Yeah. I've heard people mentioning that they want to put what was it? Jesse was wearing a pineapple shirt, so I don't know what all's going on with that. So you never know.
Easy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a family-friendly show.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with all that. So
yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if he's wearing pizza topping shirts, it's okay in my books. I don't know if he's going to wear a pickle shirt.
Pineapples are different, and we're not going to discuss them on this.
We're not going to talk about it any further.
Okay.
We'll have to have an after dark episode again, like we used to.
We'll have to do that. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's get the news cranked up for this show, and let's start with John.
Let's do it. And before I get into the news, big shout out to Curious KDB. She's on the road and she swung by, and we had pickle pizza at Cache Odyssey, New York, right before the show. That was awesome.
Nice.
So thank you, Kelly, for stopping by. We had an absolute blast on that one.
Yeah, Kelly's a big fan of Cache Odyssey. She almost did one. It didn't work out, so she graciously bowed out, and Doug jumped in. So we definitely thank Kelly for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, I don't know if you saw, but there's been a series of updates to geocaching.com, the website.
Wait, what? They improved where it goes?
No, Jesse.
Okay. All right. I thought you meant something important, but go ahead.
Other than that,
yeah. I mean, it's only been a little bit, so it's fine.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So some of the updates I just wanted to talk about, guys, because I think some of them are pretty cool, right? Yeah. The first one is the cache owner logs on the cache details page. What you can do now is you can go on a cache page and actually click on view owner logs, and it pulls all the owner logs all together on that one.
Interesting.
Which is kind of cool, because I don't know about you guys, but like if it's like a cache where you have been looking for something, trying to find it, and you're like, I know the owner commented on this, but it was like 2 years ago or something, or a year ago, but it's some helpful information. Just click on view owner logs. All of those come together and you can see everything really quick. So I thought that one was a really cool feature on that side. And another, yeah, you got to check it out. Just rolled out. And then also another one too is days of the week have been added to event cache listings. So onto that for days of the week. Oh, and K-Blast Gas, does that do that for events too? Yeah, I believe it does. And if you go to the geocaching forums where it details it, somebody says on that one, that's going to be awesome, because if you're like looking at events and it's like hundreds or thousands of people logging it, and you're looking to see what that like like critical information is on the announcements that they're making, you can go through and filter it that way. So I think that's going to really help out a ton of people.
Or for those people that show up for events on the wrong day. I don't know anybody would actually do that, but
funny how you point to yourself there, buddy. Our audio.
That's not me. That's somebody else.
Chrissy pointing at you.
I have done that more than once.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
What?
Like it's the last second. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just out caching. Like, oh, there's an event, and I'm thinking like it's the 17th, but it's actually the 16th.
Right.
I'll fly over to somewhere. I'm like, yeah, nobody's here. I did not look at this very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, days of the week for the events, for them adding that too for the event cache listings, that's pretty awesome, because like a lot of times, and I don't know about you guys, but if it's like a event I have to travel for like a couple of hours, if it's on a weekend, I can easily say it's on a weekend, and I don't have to figure out what with the number of the date,
Do the math.
Yeah, like sorry, Captain Math, but it just makes it so much easier, to be able to do it if it has the day of the week rather than the number.
Yeah, that's true.
True. I think that's going to be something pretty big. But then the third item from the website updates on here, and for somebody who has like a trackable inventory of like hundreds or thousands of trackables.
Oh yeah.
And on this one, they visit them at every single cache. Well, guess what? They can't do that anymore. So the visit all option has been removed for logging trackables.
And smart, I guess.
Yeah. And HQ says really the reason behind it is there's a small number of players, and who knows who, they didn't name names, who have a very large trackable inventory, and they're logging thousands of trackable visits for every cache that they find. So they said, really that's creating an unsustainable rate of trackable log growth, which has really like affected the performance of trackable searches in a very bad way. Yeah, Brian Kemp, you're right. Like massive SQL hit for sure on that one.
Now, what's interesting is that doesn't affect Cachely at this point.
Oh,
you can still do an all visited, all dropped off, all visited on Cachely.
Huh. Okay.
Well, we'll see if that may be part of a new update he does, but as of right now, you can still do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Happy Hodag, wonder how that'll affect GSAC loggers. We're going to have to see what the impact is. I mean, maybe it's just the interface with the official geocaching.com app and website right now. But yeah, maybe it'll be rolled out to other tools as well too.
Yeah, we need to bring a GSAC person on again. I haven't heard GSAC in a long time.
Yeah, people still use it, but isn't it not being updated anymore?
I don't believe it's being updated anymore. I think maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody will tell us immediately. I had heard the person that did it either left the ability to do it or died. I don't know if that's true. And then they left it to just open source kind of afterwards. None of those are computer terms. I'm just saying they kind of left it for people to be able to do. So maybe somebody does. It's community updated, Ryan says. So I hadn't even looked at it in years. So I wouldn't mind. I might have to dive into that again.
Yeah.
Because we're all data nerds. So
did you have another one? Did you have some of your caching, John?
Yeah. If we wanted to talk about caching, guys. So I just want to talk about some caching experiences I had recently. One, big shout out to Phil, Little Black Dog. Phil was coming through town on Monday. It was awesome to see him at an event on that one. We had breakfast. It was a breakfast event at a coffee shop. Shout out to Tim Hortons. And it was just really cool to see him. Really cool to meet another cacher, Fox Family Finds. I think it's 123.
Cool.
Super cool to meet them because they've been hiding some very cool caches out there. So that was awesome. But I got to tell you guys too about some Amish muggles. Have I told you guys about the Amish muggles?
No, we haven't heard this yet. Muggles.
Oh man, guys. So I had to do cache maintenance, right? And I'm traveling, and Jody and I were like going down this road, right? And it's probably about like a half hour from us, and we're like right behind this Amish buggy, and like no joke, Amish kids hanging out the side of this buggy, right? Like this buggy is like packed to the gills full of people, right? Mm-hmm. So we slow down, and we're gonna pass it, right? What do we hear from this Amish buggy? Somebody has a radio in this Amish buggy, like cranked to 11.
Wow.
Like turning up music. Yeah, Jesse. And it's like a Sunday group of Amish kids, and we're just like, I wonder where they're going, right?
Like a party.
Well, guess what? We pass them, and then we go to a multi-cache of ours that we have to do maintenance. What's at ground zero of the multi-cache? A horse and buggy.
Nice.
And immediately when we park there, right, another horse and buggy shows up on that one.
Right next to the cache.
Yeah, so we could not do our maintenance on this one because of these Amish muggles on this one.
That is wild.
Were they out finding your cache? Were they caching and riding in the buggy kind of thing?
I think they were just partying up on a Sunday, Gary, on this one. So
no joke. On technology, so they're probably not out sporting a GPS. So
yeah, probably not. But guys,
on the radio.
I'm like, this is so legit true. I'm like, on this one, I just shared the GC code to this one because like I took pictures of these buggies, at ground zero on this one as proof.
Richie says they have lights and stereo systems in the buggies. It's 100% thing. So
yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Richie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else has ever had an Amish smuggle out there. Amish gang activity.
Amish gang activity.
Yeah, I think it was, Ken. I think it really was,
Definitely.
We're going to have to come back another day on this one.
That's crazy.
I know. So that's my interesting experiences, guys.
Very cool. Yeah. So mine real quick, because Jesse has more than I, but mine was just, I'm out on the road. I'm still chasing some Jasmer months, trying to get ready for the trip next year. I know it's a long way off, but it's easier to take care of some of that stuff now than to get behind because, I just don't want to get to a point where it's like, oh, I'm going to have to go 12 straight days, going all the way across the country to get the last few months. I don't want to get to that point because I was kind of like that on my first Jasmer loop.
Yeah.
I had to go back to an area in Austin and just basically cache hard. I'm not a big cache hard type person. So I don't know. It's just I want to try to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, get as many as you can. I mean, you're still going to have to cache Jasmer for the other loops when you get back. So
yeah, I just want to kind of catch up a little bit. I'm a little behind on some of the.
Oh, absolutely.
So you had some interesting things you've been doing, Jesse.
Yeah, since the last show, I was in Memphis for the last show, and I left and went to Nashville visiting family. So we were on kind of a road trip through Tennessee, went through South Carolina and Georgia and stuff. We ended up getting another Jasmer, so we're down to 5 left. One of those, so really 4, because one of them is a Sweden one, right? So there's 4 more. It's going to be extremely difficult to get one of these before we go. So I really want Sweden to be our final quad Jasmer, but it would require a trip on the West Coast that I don't really have time for between now and then, nor the funds for between now and then. So I may end up having 1 left after the trip. But I mean, again, just like you said, I want to get as many knockdown as I can.
Yeah.
Because finding the one in Sweden is going to be a celebration of itself. So if I have to come back and do one more cache and have a celebration, okay, it's just another celebration, right? So But and then we did on a road trip. We picked up counties. I think that put us up to 657 counties.
Good.
I'm kind of close to being a cool. Do you think I could do like the Devil's County Challenge? Do you think they get mad about that for 666 of them?
666.
Yeah, 666. I don't know. Chrissy didn't like that idea. Let's see, what else did we do? Oh, we did one of those lab farms that was at like the rest stop or whatever we're calling them now, but the Geo Arts.
I love it.
So we got like 150 caches. The whole week we got outside of that, we probably got maybe 25, 30 caches, I did get to go caching with my dad in Memphis. That was fun too. But we were just picking up one of the counties and then got the other ones. And then the whole week turns around when we pull into a rest stop. And you get like 150 caches in like 20 minutes. So
that's hysterical.
Hey, it's the future of geocaching, right? Yes, as Judy says, my new book is out. Sweet. Which I hope is going to be really helpful. It may come up tonight, but and then so I submitted 3 more Earth caches. I just found out that the 3rd one got published, so now I have an Earth cache in Georgia and Tennessee. Woohoo!
Oh, go you, man!
Several states now.
Yeah, a dozen-ish states. But I saw something interesting, and I think it's for another show, but I want to bring it up just to kind of give a warning to people to stay honest. Y'all may already know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to mention the GC code or the person or anything else, but I came across a cache that I wanted to do, and I noticed it said when I went on the cache page, the cache page was locked.
Oh,
interesting.
I looked on it. I didn't see anything weird about it. I was like, okay. Went to the guy's profile. It's like, it's locked. All right. I reached out to somebody that I knew and said, hey, do you know anything about this? He's like, no, I don't know. Well, obviously, old detective brain, I got curious, right? I'm like, what did this guy do to get his stuff locked? I went to his account and like the last 10 of his caches had been locked. I was like, or no, they'd been archived. I was like, oh gosh. So I started digging into the logs, and I don't know the details behind it. So dude could be totally, it could be a total innocent mistake, right?
Right.
But basically what it said in the logs was, you said you had permission for this. I spoke to the owner. You did not.
Right.
Oh,
archive.
Wow.
Ooh, ouch. Now, having said that, since I'm not saying this guy's name or the GC code because I don't know the story. The only reason I bring it up is because don't lie. Reviewers are not dummies. They may go check on something. They may know the person, that runs the park or something. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, Tammy said I could do this. And they're like, no. But
not happening.
I don't know. Dude could be like out of the game totally or something.
Yeah. Very true.
By the way, I don't even know if it's a dude, but dude could be out of the game totally or whatever, right? So just a warning out there, because a lot of people would go, yeah, sure, I got permission. Blah, blah. And they do not. And it clearly said, I talked to this person. You did not get permission. Lock down. So, ouch. Could you imagine? I mean, I know people that have been locked out of their accounts, but that would suck, especially for something silly like that, right? Like, again, I don't know the details of this. I'm just bringing it up to say that reviewers do check stuff. So, be careful being a cowboy out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But and that's all my caching for the week. I just had to share that story because I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know the details. I'm not casting shade on this dude because I don't know. It could have been a mix-up. Who knows, right? And now they're going to investigate. But at the same time, it was pretty shocking to see. So,
Yeah, that is crazy. I do guys have to give a quick shout out on here. Speaking of Jasmer on this,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw in our lily pad chat group in lily pad, our Geocache Talk one. So Billy Dancer 2 posted this earlier today and said a big shout out to her friend Sherry Duets, who just completed her quad Jasmer loop at Match Stash in Sweden. And this is shared with permission. And if you see in her left hand, guys, I don't know if you can tell what's in her left hand. It is one of our Jasmer loop coins.
That's awesome. Love it.
The fourth one.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Probably the first Jasmer coin to make it to Jasmer.
You're probably right. Yeah. To make it to that. So, I mean, how awesome. So, I mean, big shout out to her. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. So, a couple things from the chat room I've noticed. People says he knows your shirt, Jesse.
Yeah, Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah Bananas.
Awesome show. I know I brought it up many times, but it was the best baseball game I've been to, and I've been to a bunch of baseball games in a bunch of stadiums.
They put on a great
They do.
show.
They do.
Do you want to talk about? So Judy did mention about your book. Do you want to keep that for another day?
I'll say it real quick because we're going to touch on it tonight. But
it's out there to purchase.
I know we put it out on Instagram. It's Geocaching in the Age of AI. We're going to touch on it tonight, probably just by what we're talking about. But
sure,
we'll come up with it soon. But essentially, the book is how AI can help in your geocaching, and it's not just like cheating on puzzles. There's a lot of things that can really help elevate your game, and I kind of go into it, and it is for geocachers. It is not for programmers or coders or people that have a real deep knowledge of AI, although it could be.
Correct.
But the whole book is basically how you can enhance your game. There's a lot of things that can make it really good. I've been experimenting, all of us have been experimenting with for the past years, and a lot of people, we touch on it some on the show, but we haven't really gone in depth on it. And I think it's a tool that can be just as valuable, if not more, than Project GC or whatever else, and the things that you're doing really elevating it. So we'll soon, hopefully, we'll have a full show on it. But I wanted to go ahead and get it out there because it's just a good reference for people, and it can really help people bring their game up. When we do the show, I'll talk about it. But the feedback I've gotten on the parts that I've used AI for have been extremely positive. The things that have helped elevate my game with it. And again, it's not just about cheating on puzzles, because it's actually not the best use of it, using it on puzzles.
Sure.
If it's just like a straight coding puzzle, it could use it. But I mean, like, we know things are so wonky when it comes to puzzles. It's not going to get that. So that's the first thing people think about, is it's just a way to cheat. It's not. So it's on Amazon, Geocaching in the Age of AI, and we'll get deeper into it soon.
Yeah.
I did want to mention that since somebody did bring it up. But I wanted to get to another comment too, real quick, that if we can. Richie says, can you explain a Jasmer loop very quickly? It is really one cache that was hit each month. Geocaching is alive. We chat about it very loosely. And we do. We haven't really talked about it much. We make a lot of assumptions. So the Jasmer Challenge, and which we've talked about before in the past, but it's been a while since we really talked in the details of it. But since we bring it up so much, Jasmer is finding one cache published in every month since geocaching started.
Correct.
That's finishing the Jasmer Challenge.
Yep.
When people say loop, that means they've found 2 in every month. And 3 in every month is the third loop. And 4 is the fourth loop. There are only 4 loops possible today because there's only 4 August of 2000 caches out there.
Correct.
So when we talk about like going to Sweden, that's that coveted one in Sweden that most people from the U.S. go for because it's the 4th one. You cannot do it 4 times without going outside of the U.S.
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
For people in the other countries, obviously, it's a lot more difficult for them. They don't have as many of the older ones as we do here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. But that's what the looping the Jasmer means. So and I'm glad he brought that up because we just go on sometimes and forget. We may not have explained everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Well, I just got to mention too, guys. I mean, if anybody wants to know more about Jasmer, Challenge Talk did a great show 56.0 on the origins of the Jasmer Challenge with Jasmer B.
Yes,
the guy that actually created the challenge. I'll post the link to that in the chat room on here too, but you can also find that on our YouTube channel and just going through, look at Challenge Talk and find that, because that's just, I mean, so cool to hear them interview Jasmer B on the origins of the challenge. That was awesome.
That is awesome. So tonight we're talking about experimental features, and one thing that I guess I just hadn't noticed And the guys also mentioned was interesting is that if you go on the website and try to pull up experimental features, you get one. And so what's interesting about that is we sort of, or at least I was sort of preparing to go through, and we probably won't be able to do it tonight, but we're going to go through and talk about some experimental features that maybe the three of us want to see that HQ might do. Website.
Oh man, is it just me or does Gary sound like he's talking on like
Yeah,
a
he sounds like he's a
fax line?
robot.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of locked up there. So I don't know how much of that got out, but tonight what we're going to do, we have some suggestions we'd like to see in experimental features. But if you go on the website, there's just one. If you go on the app for geocaching, the native app, their app, there are multiple. And we're going to kind of go over those tonight. And if we get to the additional ones, we will. If not, we'll come up with some at a later date or whatever. But for now, we want to go over the ones that are available currently. I was just about to pull that up.
Yeah. And Jesse, while you're doing that, let me pull up on my phone, because for people who aren't sure where they are.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
We just want to walk people through it, right? So like on here, and this is the official geocaching.com app, and I'm accessing it on my iPhone on iOS. So on this one, you can see like if I go down, to the bottom of the screen here, you can go to the different options. I'm clicking in the lower right-hand corner on the more on the three dots. And then you can see under the more page going down, under more to explore, there's experimental features, and you can see it's premium, right? So premium means if you have a basic account, you may not see these,
Right.
You more than likely, it looks like you have to have a premium account to do, which, for all of us, I mean, really into caching, I mean, premium account makes sense. And
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Gary. We're just walking people through where they can find on the phone for the current ones.
This is a great reminder of the fact that you try to do a show from a hotel. It doesn't always work very well. So.
No.
Anyway, y'all keep going.
Yeah. So if you go through the experimental features list, you can see on here ones that are features in development, and they may not work as expected. So you actually have to go into this app and turn them on here. So you can see on here, like on this one, show Omni Search, pass logs, photo gallery, delete your log, collaborative lists, dark mode. Yeah. And we'll go through these a little bit more, but this is where you find it on your phone. So, if you're a new cacher, this is a great way to check it out on here.
Yeah. Very
good.
And
as Brian pointed out, there's a forum post for each of these new features.
Yep.
So if you're one of those people that's brave enough to go into the community forums,
that's a good way to
although I know it's a lot better now. It used to be.
It is better.
It used to be terrible. Now it's a lot more tame and informative and stuff. But I've still got trauma from going on, 10 years ago, and it was just mean. Everybody was mean. So there's more information on the forums as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
And it sounds like iOS and Android don't have an equal number of these features.
Oh, interesting.
So that's interesting.
Huh. I wonder why they did that. Okay.
I could make a good Android joke, but I'm not even going to.
I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let's go through some of these. Tell me what you guys think, where we're at. So the first one on the list, show Omni Search. Search for geocaches, trackables. This is their explanation of what this is. So
yeah,
we'll go from there. Search for geocaches, trackables, geocaching usernames, and geotours using one input field. So it's going to be a Omni Search feature. It sounds okay. I thought we already had that.
Yeah, I don't understand the nuance of why this is different.
I think what this is saying, right, guys, is where you would go into that search bar and you like normally you'd search for something like maybe like a GC code or something,
Right.
and it looks like it's now searching trackables, like everything like that. So I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds like this really streamlines the process.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things, I mean, just saying on here too, it seems like, I mean, I gotta imagine, and I don't know the data, geocaching.com has it, but I gotta assume the majority of the people are finding geocaches on their phone. They're not
Sure.
taking a laptop out in the field.
Right.
So I mean, a lot of these features I have to assume like are probably optimized for the app and then maybe being rolled out to the website.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that works pretty good. The Omni search does. I just did one real quick.
Yeah.
You can just type in whatever, anything into there, like a trackable or, a username, cache name, GC code, just like they said, and all of it just pulls up. Instead of having to go to all these different locations to search for something, it's just like a Google search
That's cool.
In their basic search app. So that actually makes sense. A lot of these things are like, why? I'm glad they're doing them now because it seemed like it'd be pretty easy. I am not a programmer. I am not a coder, nor do I ever want to be. So that may be the most difficult thing to ever accomplish, but it seems so easy to us on the user end, right? So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works well for research. Ryan says, yeah, absolutely.
So next one is past logs photo gallery. View all photos from past logs in one gallery from the past logs screen. This may increase data usage. Yeah, I bet.
So I'm going to be completely honest. I had to download this app again because I deleted it because I don't use this app. I use Cachly. You've always been able to do that in Cachly. Has that not been a thing? You just hit images and they all download. I don't know why that's
I think this is what it's saying. Like in the past, I'm assuming from here, and don't get me wrong, I primarily use Cachly too, but the way that sounds like is like in the past, you'd have to scroll through logs and then find the photo. You couldn't just open up a gallery and then go through all those photos. So for people using the geocaching.com app, I mean, like shoot, how many times have you looked for a cache and you're stumped? So you're looking at photos, past photos from people. So it seems like, I mean, this one would help those people out a lot, looking at those past photos, looking to get a hint or like a clue.
So here's the question I have. Cachly has always done that.
Yeah.
Why has HQ not done that? They own the information, right? Why are they just now adding that?
That is weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think we all know. I mean, Nick from Cachly, man, has just like gone all out on innovating and making so many awesome changes and listening to the community. I just think like you got to tip your head to Nick on this one for all his great work he's done. Because I mean, I think with him doing that, a lot of these things look like they're obvious. Like, why didn't they do it?
Yeah, and it's kind of like too, like an independent contractor versus a big corporation, right? Or the big ship. They have to make tiny little movements. Nick could turn everything purple tomorrow, and there's nobody that can say anything about it.
Sure,
you're still going to use Cachly, or you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
HQ can't just sweepingly change things. That's why they're doing it as experimental features, right? Because they have worldwide people that can get mad and quit and everything else. So I think they have to be a lot more safe with a lot of these features. Because if Nick came out tomorrow and had some experimental feature and it just crapped everything out, he would fix it and move on.
Sure.
But if HQ did it, everybody would wear them out so horribly, right? So I guess that's why they're slower to adopt stuff. Uh-oh. We're losing Gary again.
Is Gary turning into a robot again?
I think he's turning into a robot again.
I don't know.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, did I go robot?
Yeah,
you're in robot mode.
Delete accidental logs from the past log screen. Is this a big enough deal to make an experimental? I mean, what do y'all think?
What does it do? What does it really practically do?
I'm assuming if you accidentally do multiple logs, you know what I mean? So sometimes you see people's log entry where it's a duplicate. So
does it let you search for them, John? You think search for delete for duplicates? No,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on this one.
Well, I know. So I'm just thinking of why this may exist. I know in Project GC, you can go in and check for duplicate logs on your caches. Now, but you're not supposed to be able to do that anyway, right? Like, you're not supposed to be able to log something more than once. So I don't know where this would be a thing other than, like, you can't claim a cache twice. You used to be able to. You used to be able to claim it more than once, Like people would do an event and they would let them claim the event like 5 times for like a contest or whatever. There's weird stuff like that. Or some of the old challenges, the second loop would be the same challenge. You just claim it again. But they stopped doing that. So I don't understand why this. Yeah. Because, like write notes, you don't want to erase your notes, but you can't claim a cache more than once. I'm pretty sure you can't do that anymore. So I'm not sure exactly why.
Yeah, and even Ryan says, I don't
know what you're cleaning up because I thought they already stopped that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's not as foolproof as I thought it was. But I thought you could not claim a cache twice, like find it twice now.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Yeah. Well,
so hold on. My beloved husband does that way too much. Explain what he does way too much. Is he write the same? Is it write note on the second one, or did he actually claim a find on a log twice accidentally, on a cache accidentally? I'd love to hear that because I thought you could not do that. Okay, that's a good theory. Hodag says you can't do duplicate logs anymore, but some duplicate logs do still exist if they haven't been cleaned up.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense then. So if you want to go back and clean them up, like I logged a DNF instead of a find. Oh, I've done that. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And a write note. I've done that too. And but yeah, I could see that log. I don't see that I would care to go back and really do that. It's been so long now. But I guess some people are really particular about their records and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever even gone on that on Project GC and looked for duplicate logs?
I haven't in like a long time. I remember doing that a while back and it didn't identify any. Yeah. But it's like I don't really have that in like I guess like my cache like maintenance or kind of routine, man.
I don't know. I guess we're terrible cache owners, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know that one's a super great one, but what's our next one?
Next one is one that really excites me, collaborative lists. So on this one, you can invite your friends to collaborate on a list. Once added, list collaborators can add or remove caches. Collaborators must be premium members.
So this is the best one that I've seen on here. Well, almost the best one. There's another one we're going to talk about that I love, but this one I use a longer version of doing this all the time.
Yeah.
And we share like bookmark lists, like we're getting a group together where we're planning a trip ahead of time. And I know if Gary was here, he'd be saying cache tour.
Yep.
But not everybody uses cache tour. So like Barry and I will make a list on like our road trips or whatever, or if I'm even doing it with the group in town or whatever. You start building a list, and yes, you can share a list, but it's not as easy as just doing it back and forth. And then once you put them on your phone, it's 2 separate lists, right? So the idea of being able to collaborate and add to each other's list when you're doing something, that's awesome. Plus, think what we've done many times, like VR. Hey, if you've got VR, add it to this list.
Yeah.
Now we can all add it to that list, and we can put all of our VR caches on there as they start coming in, right? So I love this thing. I don't know about what you think about it, but I love it.
I love it because so many times I think like you're out caching with folks and it falls on one person to be that list creator and maintainer, and I think Jesse, I mean, like I even think like, because I mean, is Barry your list guy when you guys travel?
In fairness, yes. So we both do it. He is 10 times better at it than I am. And he is good about pulling data and this and that. And like, he doesn't use cache tour as much, but he'll build the routes and stuff. But we'll collaborate on like, without getting totally sidetracked on it, right? Like we talked about many times, if you're planning a road trip, 1, set your expectations. And then 2, make sure that both of you are getting what you need out of the trip, whether it's counties or Jasmers or whatever else. So we'll add those in there as our top priorities. And then we'll go back and add in like second level priorities and then extra stuff after that, right? So compiling that in the past has been quite hard, and we've changed stuff. Plus, once you set out, on the trail or whatever, like say it's a week-long trip, adding those as you've already left the house, like maybe you've shared them before, but then you have to reshare them again.
Yep.
It was a pain in the past. So, especially, you know, if you just have one person that makes a list and gives it out to the group, that's one thing. But if you're trying to truly collaborate, I think that's going to be the best thing for group caching that I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, a few good comments on here. Chrysler King 987, he says he's list creator and maintainer every single time.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
Yeah, on that one. And Soccer Kick, she raises a great point on this one too. Wish you could share corrected coordinates. I'm hoping you can through this list. If you can't, I mean, that's kind of a bummer, right?
Yes and no. I understand what she means 100%. However, I see this one open to exploitation big time. I see one person or multiple people making a list of every puzzle in their state and then sharing it with corrected coordinates. So that's a list of every solved puzzle they've ever, you know. I can see where somebody would exploit that. I think it's good. I understand why it'd be good for a group, but I think at the same time, if you're sharing I can see how somebody would. We already know people cheat constantly, right? That seems like the whole game for some people is how they can cheat the game, not really the game itself. And I can see why they don't do this one because it seems like it could be exploited pretty easily, though.
Yeah, and Ryan brings up a great point, guys. If anybody's looking through these on the official geocaching.com app, please make sure you have the most up-to-date version in order to see these on this one. And if you're just joining us, it seems like from the comments we've heard from folks, the iOS has more experimental features than the Android does at this point in time.
And that could change by the end of the show, right? Like, I mean, that could be changing all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on to the next one, Jesse,
Okay.
dark mode for the geocaching.com app.
Ooh, I thought everything had that. Doesn't every app have that? I really did think that, you know, like my phone even has it for everything. So
yeah, this kind of seems like a catch-up one. I don't know how long this.
Yeah, it's a catch-up. I mean, they're not trying to roll this out like it's some awesome thing, right? They just added it because it's never been on there.
Yeah, and good point from the chat room. I mean, dark mode can save battery a little bit too on that one. So, and K Blast says he's used dark mode since the second it came out on here. So, how long ago was that, K Blast? Just kind of curious on that one. I don't know when it was rolled out.
I'm not a big dark mode guy. I really don't care enough for it.
Yeah.
If I'm caching like late at night in a car, you know, there's some situations where it matters, but most of the time I don't care.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love that. They all their computers or everything's on dark mode. They love it. The 3% it may save me over a whole day. I don't care enough for that. So
yeah. Okay, so yeah, Direwolf, you asked on here. Yeah, in December 2024 is when it was rolled out. In dark mode, we're saying it saves on battery on that one, reduces eye strain as well too. Maybe it gives you better cache and karma, you know, on there too. Who knows?
There may be, I don't know, but there may be people where it helps that have, you know, different vision that it may help them some. So
that
I
is
don't know if there's like some color differences or whatever. It doesn't affect me, so I don't know enough about it to say that, but it seems like that's a possibility. It may be easier for some people's eyes. So in that case, awesome for them. I don't think they're really, and that's why they didn't make a huge announcement of this, because everybody just expects you to have that in your app anyway. They're just catching up and throwing it in there. So
yeah, I'll tell you the next one, Jesse. I really like the one on here too. And Ryan, someone says helps avoid the Amish mafia. I'm going to have to remember this, Ryan. Maybe that's a mistake I made. Just saying. Maybe that's a mistake I made.
You need to watch some documentaries. There's documentaries on the Amish Mafia. So
yeah, I still clear, Jesse. I still clear.
Okay. Sure. Smart.
Yeah, just on that one. But the next one I really like on here for experimental features, the recent logs icon, where it shows icons for the last 5 logs in the cache tray on the map. So when you're looking at it, you can see the last 5 logs easily through icons. Which
you're being so nice on this. You're such a nice guy. You know, Cashley had that like 10 years ago when we interviewed him.
I know, but I like it. And I'll tell you, you know, on this one, it's like the one thing that's made me use the geocaching.com app more recently, treasures, you know, I'll be honest with that one, because it's like treasures to go through and do it. I'm using their app more. I'm usually a Cashley guy, you know.
I'm pro, I rag everybody, but I am pro HQ, and I say that they should even have some stuff that Cashly isn't allowed to have. If it was my company, I wouldn't give you all the secrets and let you have more. I would have some stuff that I only had in my app. I cannot believe they don't do that. Treasures is like that. They're going to release it. You know they are. They release everything to everybody. I swear they're too nice. But Treasures, that's why I use. Yeah, I like the Treasures. I'm coming around to them. I didn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Gary's not here, so I can admit it now. But keep that. I don't know why they're going to release that. I mean, I'm glad they are because I love Cashly or whatever. But dang, hold on to something, man. Make people have to use the app. But no, I think that's good. I too think this is a catch up thing, just like the dark mode. Most other apps have already had that for a while. And they wouldn't have, it's not like HQ doesn't know about it. They allow everything that happens in the other apps, right? So they've known about it for a while. I personally think this is just another catch up. Like, oh, we should probably do this. The good thing is they're adding it because they know people want it.
Yeah.
They have to know. That is an extremely helpful feature. Like when you look at, if it's a bunch of blues and a red, move on. I'm not even going to dig into the details of that one, right? Yeah. Especially if you're just traveling through. I think that should be a standard in every app. Great feature.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not groundbreaking because it's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
but
I got to tell you,
have it on there.
Yeah, and so good because I mean, especially for freestylers, where I mean, some people plan out their caches, do homework far in advance. They leave the house, everything is planned for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other people, they freestyle, they pull it up and they say, okay, let me see, has this one been found recently? And
we do that a lot. We are definitely freestylers. Now we plan some, but we're definitely freestylers. Even cross country, we'll hit. We'll have our there's these 6 caches we want to get driving to Tennessee and back. But outside of that, we just play and have fun along the way because it's sometimes it feels like work when you're planning too much. So
yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's very helpful. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody, and they said something like, you ever feel like after a caching road trip, right? You're so exhausted from it, you want to take a break from caching. And I think that's the case when sometimes it's so pre-planned. So, I mean, that freestyling can just give you that energy, give you that fun. It's kind of like a throwback, you know what I mean, to when you first start.
Yeah, but I think that's a fair statement too, because I look forward to my yearly caching week, my power week every year. And, but afterwards I'm exhausted. Like we go and I am recharged because inevitably we get to talking and it's like a 7-day episode of Geocache Talk, right? We're just talking about geocaching the whole time and hanging out and catching up and stuff like that. But there's something during that trip every year that gets me inspired for the next year. So I'm both inspired to get into something new, and also I need a couple days to just not geocache.
Yeah.
Because I love it a lot. But, I mean, if you're finding several hundred, and I don't mean power trail stuff, but if you're finding hundreds in a week, you're worn out. So that's a fair statement, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the next one is, and I think this is one you like, caches with trackables. So filter only for caches that have trackables in their inventory. How do you feel on this one?
I wish they had this 10 years ago. And I've said this many times before. My youngest daughter, when she got into caching with me, now she left again tonight. She's off in college now. So that gives you an idea of how long, she loved the trackables. And we would go out and try to find trackables. Well, you would try to find there's no easy way to really do it. Now, it still doesn't handle the fact that people don't log them properly. We're not even going to touch that. But I have tried to find caches with I want to do that for a long time. Some days I just want to go out and find trackables. And I still do that, even though I don't buy as many trackables as I used to, like coins and stuff. That's a different discussion or whatever. But finding trackables and being able to move them, I love that. And it's really, for me, it's the acquisition of getting them. For my wife, it's getting to move them on, whether she's going to clean them up, add a new toy to it, or she's got a basket in our kitchen, stays on the counter, and that's where we put trackables because I can lose them. I can lose them sitting still. I don't know how, but so she'll keep them in there. She's in charge of that part, but that's her part of the game, right? Now that she's going to know that we can go out, she's going to want to do that to move them on.
Well, see, and I love talking about it because, like, for me, like, I'll fully admit, right? like trackables is one of those things that's usually for me. I go to the cache and it's like, oh, cool, there's a trackable, especially if it's listed there and it is there, you know. So I mean, for this feature, I mean, just talking this through, I'm like, you know what, I should maybe change the way I cache and use this and see if I can find some, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear you. A few good ones. I mean, Richie Trace pulls up. I stay away from trackables because, well, I know I lose them.
Yeah, and I think, and we may have to talk about this another time too, but I think if you're going to get into trackables, like moving them and stuff, you have to have a system in place. Like we had for many years now. She takes care of it now because I'm not really good at it. I forget and stuff like that. If you don't have one dedicated geocaching bag where they all go in, you need to have something in your vehicle or something at home where you put them all the time until you move them again. Yeah. Like we had my daughter, the same one I was talking about, she handmade a geocaching bag for us that we hung in the Jeep, and that's where all the trackables went. And they stayed there until we moved them somewhere else. That worked great. Because I'd like to, you know, collect a few, find out what the goal was, and then as we drive through a town and you found a big cache there that you knew was safe, all of a sudden that cache owner in a small town would get 8 trackables in there. And they're like, woohoo, it was great.
That's cool.
But you got to keep them safe. You know, that's like so people that are into trackables, and this may help people be more into moving trackables again, which is a whole nother show by far, right? Moving trackables and keeping them going and all that other stuff and them disappearing and stuff. But that may be a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I agree. And the next one on the experimental features from iOS, empty DT grid search. So being able to filter for caches that fill an empty DT spot, either from your profile by tapping statistics, then fill in your grid, or from the filter screen by selecting show only empty DT combinations. At this time, the DT grid search works only if you have it not filled in your grid yet. What do you think on this one?
Obviously, it doesn't help us any. It's for newer cachers. I think it's a good feature for newer cachers. I thought that was already a thing anyway. I know it's on the website. You can do that.
Yeah.
Or at least they have it. I know Project GC, I get them confused sometimes. Project GC has the loops. This is just for the first loop of it, right? That's what I understand when you filled it in for the first time.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. And, you know, I got to admit, I have some spots left on mine. So I kind of like this, you know. But you're right. I mean, for loopers, if it can't do it for loopers, somebody who's been in the game for a long time, does it add value, or is this kind of like more of a newbie or like a newer cacher kind of feature?
So here's what I would say, and I mean this in all due respect to everybody that plays the game a different way, right? Newbies versus old people. I don't have anything against anybody in the game. I think this is a newbie feature, but I think that's okay.
Yeah,
because. And by newbie, I mean, you could be 7 years in the game and you're a casual player, or you haven't really got into, you know, fizzy grids or whatever much. So the first time you filled that grid, it takes effort to fill that grid, right? It takes effort to do that. That's a good tool for that. By the time you've done that and become a looper, you're trying to do it 3 or 4 times. You've been in the game for a while. You've done a lot of things. You have other tools that are Project GC, other things like that. You have tools that you can use. You've been introduced to those other tools. I think is an introductory tool because not everybody even stays in the game long enough to do their fizzy even once.
Yeah.
So I think it's really only for brand new. I say new people that have not done it once. That's obviously what it's for. I don't see a huge value in having the, you know, multiple loops on it. You probably have other tools. Now, could it help some people because that's their part of the game? Yeah. But I like it as it is. I think it's a good tool for newer cachers that have not filled in their fizzy yet once. I think it doesn't help me any, but I still think it's a good tool.
Yeah, no, I like it. And I mean, and you said it a few times during this, there's certain things of this other tools have provided, and, you know, geocaching.com, the app has not. So I think there's value in them getting this functionality in. You know, sometimes, I mean, through third-party tools, and it's not a dig on Project GC, but I mean, you know, the data synchronizes not all the time, you know. So I know for me, like on the East Coast, like if it's around 9 o'clock, sometimes I get excited because I know my data synced up in Project GC that I can then go and then take a look at and then see like, hey, that's cool. I, you know, have updated stats. I've worked closer to some goals. But I mean, the fact is, if, you know, HQ does more of this in the app itself, having that real-time integration could be very powerful, you know?
That's where I see the potential in it, because if you can do it for Fizzy, you can do it for Jasmer.
Yes.
So all these major challenges, I'd love to see those built into, and I don't mean 50 levels of it, right? I mean the basic level of it. Same thing with finding a cache that was hidden on every day, calendars, all this. Obviously, I'm biased, but I love challenges, right? So the basic challenges, I mean, those linchpin challenges, the Fizzy, Jasmer, 365, things like that. I would love to see those integrated into the app, because and even if it's only for, again, whether you call it casual, newbie, or whatever, people that have not really gotten deep into the game or haven't really gone to that part of the game yet, I think that's very valuable, because it shows them there's more to it than just finding a lamppost in a park. Yes. They get introduced to more and more, which in my opinion is, now these are probably only available for, premium members or whatever else, but at least if they see that that's in there, they just can't unlock it. That may bring more and more people into the premium side of the game, which is good for HQ, but it's good for all of us, because if you're doing premium, you're probably staying around, which means you're probably going to also hide more caches eventually, and it makes the game better for all of us. But having that thing that draws people deeper into the game, not that everybody needs to be a crazy cacher, right? But to help people be introduced to the part of the game they really love, I think that's important.
Yeah, and I think Chrysler King 987 brings up a great point. If they made Jasmer part of the stats, I would probably start caring about Jasmer. In my opinion on this one, I mean, Jasmer is a staple in the geocaching community.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be in there.
Yes.
So I mean, like, why isn't it? It should be, for sure. And I agree. It's just like any way you can gamify it. And I think the assumption should be the majority of people are using probably the geocaching.com app to start. That's probably their entry app, So, I mean, as much functionality you can add to that, especially knowing for younger folks, like they may not even go to the website, on like a computer, maybe a mobile website, but they're probably using the app as their primary mechanism for interacting with geocaching. So, I mean, I think you got to outfit that as much as possible.
I think that's a good, valid thing, because a lot of people are not Project GC people.
Yeah.
Like if it's not on the website or on the app, they don't really care about it. That makes sense. That's not because they're not a hardcore cacher. It's because it's not a thing. It's just not like, some people are big time into path tags. I have several of them, but the only reason, because I think they're awesome. The only reason I haven't gotten into path tags is because it's not on geocaching.com.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. And I probably have 100 or so of them or whatever in my desk. But if it's not tracked on on geocaching.com, it's not really part of my game. That's just the way I look at it. So if Jasper's not tracked on geocaching.com, I see that. That's valid. Like, I know there's challenges that you can get to, but it's not a real stat that they track on there. And I would love to see them expand that on the website, and especially on the phone, because like you said, that's most people's interaction is on the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the path tags are a good one, because I think like there's so many things when you start out and you're just like, okay, downloading the app. Okay, here's where I'm going. Right. And then people go to an event, and at the event, somebody's like, oh, by the way, did you know about Jasmer? Did you know about path tags? Did you know about all these other things?
Yeah.
But let's face it. Some people don't go to events right away. Some people just cache on their own.
Yeah.
So, you got to make that on there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am with you.
I think the features are pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I hope to see a lot more, but of course we're always going to want to see more, right? That's the nature of the beast.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm excited that there's so many features in here that they have. That excites me. I think that's really cool. And oh man, Tomorrow Burger, Cache Odyssey New York, couldn't find any pickled pizza though. Bummer on that one. For anybody who wants to find pickled pizza, I have a pickle pizza adventure lab at the place that has pickle pizza. They have slices usually during the day, but if it's not during the day, that's the part where it gets tricky. And I do tell people this: if you're going to find Cache Odyssey New York, feel free to send me a message. And if I'm in town and around, certainly, I'd love to meet up with people, because I've had a few people that afterwards they're like, hey, I got a path tag, and I always try to put path tags in Cache Odyssey New York, but it would have been awesome to meet up. But yeah, let me know if people stop through, and if it's not for Cache Odyssey New York, but for some other reason through beautiful Western New York, feel free to reach out. And if I'm around, yeah, always love meeting up with people for sure on that one.
No, absolutely. And that's one of those things too, like, and I would say that with Cache Odyssey, send a message. If you're about to go out and get it and it's not your nearby state, the owners are so nice. Most of the ones I talked to were like, oh, I'm out of town, I would have met you out there. Or they did meet, I met Nate out there in Tennessee last week. Or people are out of, the Cache Odyssey owners are very involved in their cache.
Yes.
You wouldn't want every owner to meet you at the cache every time you go find a geocache, but when the Cache Odyssey ones that just shoot a message, they'll probably be interested in meeting you, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for people too, for cachers, don't hesitate. I mean, even if it's not Cache Odyssey, reach out through the app if you want to meet up with people.
Yeah.
Because I always say, like, on the logs we put on caches, like maintenance logs, it's like, hey, we maintain the cache, the cache is in good shape now. We're always happy when our caches are found. Please, feel free to reach out for a hint if you ever need one. Because we want that interaction with people. We love to meet up and we want to make sure people find them. We get no joy out of DNFs on that one. I know some people do. I do not.
No, not me.
Yeah.
Do we want to touch on, because we're at the end of the hour, do we want to touch on our suggestions for these or just save that for another show?
I think we should probably save it for another show, but if there's one I think that really resonates with you, why don't you pick it?
Well, the one that I would bring up, and I don't know, let's see, do we have enough time? Let's see, we've got a few. So streak badge testing, I kind of like that one. You know what? We've kind of talked about it before, and it relates to the book, so I'll bring it up. But I think there could be some more AI assistance and things like that. We've talked about this before, and I kind of get into it, and just happen to have that book there. But there could be some AI integrated into these apps that I think could help a lot, right? Yes. Not only answering questions, but assisting in writing logs, logging trackables. Like just about every website you go on nowadays, you can click a button and it'll say, like, do you need to chat with somebody? They could build that into the app. Yeah. I don't think that would be that hard. I think we joked about it once before. I don't know if it's on air or off air, but like you type in TFTC and it's like, really? Is that all you want to say about this? Or, hey, just to let you know, some people like more information than that or whatever, but, or translation, instant translation, or, just helping you write your logs better, or prompts that come up. Like so here's one, and we won't get into this because I want to talk about all the stuff AI can do for you without getting off track, right? But let's say you're going to log a cache. The cache has a trackable listed on it in the app.
Yeah.
And then you're going to log it. It could prompt and go, hey, was there a trackable in here? You might want to let them know. Yeah. That would be hugely helpful. Or what shape was the cache in if it's not in your log? Because it can be smart enough to look in your log and go, you didn't really put much information in here. But it can improve. And like Reggie says, AI with logs is boring. Well, if you just have it do it for it, yeah. But you can have them spell check, which a lot of people just don't know how to spell. Grammar check. Add some things to your cache. And I would say you definitely don't want to use any system, whether it's an app or anything else, to do your caching for you. Right? Whether it's solve the puzzles or write all your logs or whatever, you want to use something just like a tool, like any of the tools that are out there, like Geocaching Toolbox or whatever. You don't want to do it for you. You want it to enhance what you do. So I think there's some opportunities out there for them to add experimental feature, and maybe it's an experimental feature, right? Like, if this is a trackable cache with trackables in it, maybe it should prompt me to look for that, or say that it's not in there, so the owner can go back and show what's missing or whatever, and clean that kind of up like that.
I like what you're saying, because I mean, especially for newer caches, you're trying to wrap your head around the game. And K-Blast. So someone writes TFTC, it automatically responds DBAJ for don't be a jerk on that one. But in all honesty, I heard from somebody earlier today that said, there was this incredible, geocache, like makers put out a lot of geocaches at an event, and somebody said, wrote TFTC, and the person who made the cache owner was just like, man, I put all those hours in, all that love, all that passion, all the money, and somebody just writes TFTC. So I mean, if somebody's new to the game, they may not realize onto that one, like, people hiding caches, they're not getting paid to do it.
Right.
They're spending a lot of time, they're spending a lot of hours onto that one. If you want to see more cool caches like that one that you just found, do not write TFTC. Write something that's going to show them appreciation, love for what they've done. Charge their caching battery on that one, and make them want to hide more because they got a cool log. No, man, Jesse, you just muted, man, or I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
I would say, yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. Right. The little dot. We've seen that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't write the dot.
And yeah, so I want to bring this up too. Richie says, I use TFTC all the time. I bad, didn't think about it, but I guess I see. Yeah. So you're not right. People aren't writing that because they're evil. Either they haven't been introduced to like cache owners, or they haven't hidden their own caches or whatever, or they haven't thought about that side of the game. It's TFTC is like one of the shortest things you can write other than like +1 or the little dot, right? People put a dot on there. And it's not that it's evil. And there's a lot of caches out there that don't deserve anything more than TFTC. I know that's not nice to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, right? I think as a cache owner, once you become a cache owner, and I think Richie mentioned that he's hidden a lot of caches. So I would say it's a very nice, like, I love getting the logs when people have found caches and they have a story with it, or they've talked about it or whatever else. But I think that's where the TFTC, it's not TFTC hate, right? But it's very disappointing when you've put a lot of effort out for a cache and they're just like, I found it. Well, that's great. And that may be all you want to write. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the better logs, I would rather have and people will call me a liar on this, but I would rather have an awesome log than a favorite point. Favorite points are favorite points. You don't get anything extra for that. Yeah. It's cool to get them, but I would rather have an awesome log where somebody tells me, oh man, me and my kids went out. We found this cache today. It was awesome. We had fun. And I love this. Geocaching is great. This is my third cache or whatever, and I'm staying in the game. That's way more valuable to me. And everybody has their own opinion. But as a cache owner, that's way more valuable to me than another favorite point.
Well, and I got to reinforce what you're saying, because like one of my favorite caches, for a long time, it didn't even have any favorite points on it, right? And it may sound weird saying that, but the cache is actually on a college campus. And the cool factor to me is it's so many people's first geocache they ever find,
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm walking them through that. And I'm hearing like, hey, this is my first cache I ever found. And just hearing that, man, love it, But it may sound so weird to people to be like, one of my favorite caches I own is one with, and I can't remember, maybe one favorite point now or something, but very little,
Yeah. Well, and you can't control, like, you can have the best cache in the world. You can't control how people are going to cache, right? Just like it's brought up here. Yeah. See how you think about it from the finder's point at events where cachers may be quick doing a bunch of finds. And that's true. You can't control how people cache. And some people are just going to blow through a town and find everything, no matter how much effort is put on it. It could be a memorial, like a World War II memorial or whatever, and there's like some deep meaning behind it. Some people don't care. It's just another +1 to them. And that's fine if that's the way you want to cache. From a cache owner's perspective, you put a lot of effort into it. You want to see something cool in there, but you're not going to see it every time. You can have the best cache. Well, the best caches out there do not have 100% favorite points on them. You know what I mean? Like some people just don't do it. You're going to get nothing in the log. You're not going to get a favorite point. That's their prerogative. But just like when you're writing an email, not everybody has good communication skills. And you know how you write an email and it's kind of finishing your sentence for you or whatever?
Yep.
That's the same type of stuff they get put into this app.
Yeah.
Not one that says go out and, couch log all my caches for me, but one that kind of assists you. And you got to remember, there's kids playing the game, and there's people that don't have education. There's people that don't know how to write well. There's people that don't have the language skills. There's a lot of assistive tools out there that can help people, Yeah,
absolutely.
But, again, like we always say, there's many ways to play the game. We all have our preferences. I don't think any of us are really right or wrong unless you're breaking the law somewhere. You're not really doing anything wrong necessarily.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say, Jesse, I think we're about 10 minutes over, man.
Uh-oh.
You want to throw out closing thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I would say this is a positive thing. HQ is doing experimental features. I'd like to see them, because if we're the high-tech scavenger hunt, we're not exactly the highest tech thing out there right now. So there's a lot of things that can be added to the game to help a lot of people. This dark mode, I'm going to investigate that and see if is actually helpful to certain people as far as accessibility goes. But I would love to see more and more of those assistive tools built in, things that help people cache, things that help everybody cache. I would love to see that more and more. People don't think about, and not as a negative thing, people don't always think about how other people cache.
Yes.
They think, well, that's stupid. Well, it may not. It may be the most important thing for somebody else. We cover it all, so that's why we talk about stuff. There's stuff on that list I don't care anything about, but it could be good for somebody else.
Yeah.
And anytime HQ is kind of moving forward with things, I love to hear experimental, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it just means they're adding something new to our game, and the game can get repetitive. We're always looking how to refresh the game. So anytime they can add something new that kind of maybe change it, whether it's treasures or experimental features, they get a thumbs up from me. I'm all about it. I won't use them all, but that doesn't matter. I don't need to use them all.
Yeah. No, I hear you 100%. I think it's cool that they're doing it. I think it's awesome that we have such a great community and third-party developers that have developed so many great tools out there too, for people.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Simmons on here. Where's Flat Jesse watching from tonight? I see the real Jesse on the screen. Who knows where Flat Jesse is? I heard he could be
up somewhere.
Yeah, I heard he could be anywhere. I hear he makes sightings with Elvis occasionally too, on default on that one. But
I do know that he was in Hawaii, so that's good.
Yeah. But guys, we have so much more we're going to have to dig onto in another show about more of this on this side. So thank you all for tuning in. This Tuesday, there's no show. It's the last Tuesday of the month, but Puzzle Talk is going to be back on the first Tuesday of next month. So stay tuned. There's going to be more for that. And we'll be back on Sunday. And thank you for everybody joining us tonight. And if there's any experimental features you can think of, feel free to email us at geocachetalk@gmail.com or post it in the community or Geocache Talk Network community group on Facebook too. Jesse?
One more thing. For the people that it applies to, on the 31st, we have a meeting.
Oh, yes. A very, very, very good meeting.
Yeah. We have another cruise meeting on the 31st. So for the people that it applies to, you'll all get the information and stuff, and we'll be there on Thursday again, making more plans to go get a bunch of caches.
Oh, man. That is going to be a blast. That is going to be a blast for sure. Well, hey, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, and tune in for next week. Okay. Take care, everybody.
See you, everybody.
May your finds be many and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comments at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.